Greetings, I'm Pillar Nexus Nation Gladiator with more Pillar Loves games, and I bring you the Night Cage. Cooperative mobile maze game of trying to find keys and get to a gate and get out together. So, at the start, you'll decide whether to do like a standard game or an advanced game. With the standard game, you're just going up against the wax eaters that will try to put your lights out and isolate you in the darkness while trying to find key tiles that will get you the key that you need to exit out of one of the gates. Passages can only ever be occupied by one player. Gates are the only ones where multiple players can meet up. So, the standard game, or well, any game in general, there will be a kind of buffer zone of these tiles. So, you'll have your start tile, which you can put anywhere. You will illuminate your adjacent passages. So, gonna shuffle these for a minute. So you can place them any which way you want, as long as it connects a passage you're coming from. They can go off the board because it wraps around. So when you actually move, if the tile has these little cracks around it, it forms a pit. And then anything you are not illuminating is discarded out of the game. And you'll illuminate your new passages. So let's say we have another T section and a straightaway that crumbles. Now, it's entirely possible that if you either stay on a tile that crumbles into a pit, or you deliberately move into one, you end up falling. Make a note of where your location is, and you either go into the column or the row off to the side, and then on your next turn you'll just draw a new tile and fall onto it. However, falling onto a monster is bad. You don't want to. You don't want that to happen, because then you have no control over the situation. So it'll continue around. One of the nice little resources in the game is called Nerve. Every player starts with 1. You can have a maximum of 2. And what it lets you do is move again, block. When a monster would discard exactly 3 tiles, you only discard 2. So yeah, all the tiles will be shuffled and put into the stack. And as the game goes on, the stack runs out. And it's possible to have the game end early because you lose all your key and gate tiles. If you lose all your key tiles before everyone's gotten at least 1 key, that's every game. If you discard all the gate tiles, that's game over as well. If someone falls during the end game, which is called Final Flickers, that will pretty much end it as well. Everyone's got to get out together. Alternatively, nerve can be spent to move onto and through a monster tile, taking all the penalties of attack by getting to a tile beyond it. Or sustain. During Final Flickers, you can ignore removing a tile after your turn. You cannot spend nerve to sustain if you gain the nerve this turn. So, to actually get the nerve, you have to discard a tile from where you are, which lets you stay, which can be helpful in the strategy of this. if you would discard a monster, though, it shows up right next to you. So, that'll happen. So yeah, once everyone gets to a gate with a key, that's the game. Or they fail, and that's also the end of the game. There's also the advanced mode, where instead of having a crap ton of the wax eaters, there's only a few of them. And instead of having the regular key tiles, what we have are keepers. So, the moment you eliminate a tile and it shows, and you have a keeper, it faces you. And now, the attacks that it makes whenever someone moves in or out of its line of sight only do 1 damage. Unless you try to charge into them, in which case you'll take the 3. But from now on, normally stuff disappears once not illuminated. They self-illuminate, period. So you just have to get behind them to get the key. And then still get to a gate to end the game. Also included with the game are pit fiends, which will launch a diagonal attack to turn everything that it hits into a pit, which can be kind of nasty towards the end of the game. There's also the boss monsters. There are the pathless. So normally a wax eater's attack is stopped by breaks in the whether there's like pits or no tiles at all, or a wall situation. Pathless gets to ignore that shit and proceed to wreck everyone in a cardinal direction for 5 tiles. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to have to deal with them. But thankfully, they're few and far between. The game also features omens. If you find one, it gets... After placing it, you set it off to the side. If it's the first one. If it's the second one, and you're playing with a dirge... Dirge! What you'll do is, you'll place the dirge so that it overlaps one of the omen that was just placed. Try not to screw over your own teammates with it as possible. It can't go off the edge, obviously. So everything will get hit, and then forms a gigantic pit until it's no longer illuminated, which is going to be very difficult to do without some coordination. The omens are also used for a special add-on boss that you can get from, like, I think it was one of the Game Trade magazines, or when I ordered this game, they actually sent me this as well. The Endbringer. Here. As soon as 5 omen tiles are revealed, it shows up and proceeds to start draining the deck until the end of the game. At the end of each player's turn. So as soon as it shows up, the game has said, you've been messing around too much. We need to end this. Let's see here. What else? Did they get mixed in somewhere? Where did they go? Add one other thing to feature. Oh yeah, there are. The crumbling tea tiles. Not really a boss or anything, but they can be added to make things a little more challenging when they show up. Yeah, that's the Night Cage. It's not too terribly complicated. I like the art style for this game. It's mostly black and white and gray betweenish, and maybe a little bits of color. But I think it's pretty cool. Um, it's I think part of what got me curious about this game is, it's not a game about, zombies or the usual stuff we seem to see with the horror games like Cthulhu and all that. It's it's kind of unique in a way. I mean, I haven't really seen anything else like it, so I definitely recommend it. You know, I know I was considering selling it, but um, this is the one I've changed my heart on, so I'm gonna hold on to it. If you can, check it out. This has been Pillar Nexus. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.